Riley slammed the door of her family's colonial home in suburban Chicago, the echo reverberating through the quiet night like a gunshot. Her mother's scream still rang in her ears. "You're throwing away your life for some whim." But it wasn't a whim. It was Raylan, the bartender who just whispered those 3 words after locking up the bar, pulling Riley into a world she could no longer deny. The rain pounded against the windshield as Riley drove aimlessly through the slick streets, her mind a whirlwind of regret and defiance. How had it come to this? Just hours ago, she'd been nursing a gin and tonic at the Lantern, the dimly lit spot downtown where she'd escaped her suffocating routine for months. Raylan, with her sharp wit and easy smile, had become more than a friendly face behind the counter. She was the spark Riley hadn't known she needed. Tonight, as the last patron stumbled out, Raylan had flipped the sign to closed and turned to Riley with eyes that held a storm. "Stay," she'd said, her voice low and steady. Riley's heart had raced, a mix of fear and exhilaration coursing through her veins. They talked for hours about dreams deferred, about the weight of expectations. And then, in a moment that felt both inevitable and terrifying, Raylan leaned in. "I love you, Riley. I've loved you since the first time you walked in here looking lost." Riley gripped the steering wheel tighter, tears blurring the taillights ahead. Love? From a woman? Her conservative parents, pillars of their evangelical church community, would never understand. They'd raised her to be the perfect daughter, straight A student engaged to a nice boy from youth group, until she called off the wedding last year, citing cold feet. But this was betrayal in their eyes. She pulled into a parking lot, engine idling as memories flooded her. Growing up, Riley had always felt out of place. The crushes on girls in high school she dismissed as admiration. The unease during dates with boys that never ignited anything real. Her father, a stern accountant, preached family values at every dinner table sermon. "God has a plan," he'd say, his gaze piercing. Her mother, ever the homemaker, nodded along, knitting scarves for church bazaars while subtly steering conversations toward eligible bachelors. But Raylan was different. At 30, she exuded a confidence Riley envied. Out and proud, with tattoos peeking from her sleeves, stories of backpacking through Europe after coming out to her own family. They'd bonded over shared laughs, Riley opening up about her stalled career in marketing, the pressure to settle down. Raylan listened, really listened, her presence a balm to Riley's fractured soul. Now that confession hung like a guillotine. What if her family found out? The thought twisted her gut. She imagined her father's disappointed shake of the head, her mother's tearful pleas to pray it away. Society's whispers too, the judgmental stares at church, the lost friendships. Was love worth this chaos? Riley's phone buzzed. A text from her sister Emily. "Mom's hysterical. What happened?" She ignored it, her mind drifting back to the bar. After Raylan's words, Riley had frozen, then fled without a response. Coward, she berated herself inwardly. You've hidden for too long. But the fear was paralyzing, fear of rejection, of appending her life. She drove home eventually, slipping in quietly. The house was dark, but she knew sleep wouldn't come. Lying in bed, she replayed the night. Raylan's touch on her arm electric. The way her laugh cut through the noise. For the first time, Riley allowed herself to admit it. She felt the same. But admission brought terror. What price would she pay? The next morning dawned gray, mirroring her mood. Breakfast was tense. Her parents exchanged glances over coffee. "We need to talk," her father said finally, his voice grave. Riley's stomach dropped. Had they somehow known? No, it was about her erratic behavior, her late nights. "You're 28, Riley. Time to get serious." Her mother chimed in, suggesting a blind date with the pastor's nephew. Riley nodded mechanically, her thoughts elsewhere. She couldn't face Raylan yet, but avoidance gnawed at her. By afternoon, she found herself at the bar's door, heart pounding. Raylan looked up from polishing glasses, her expression a mix of hope and hurt. "You ran," she said simply. "I was scared," Riley admitted, sliding onto a stool. They talked in hushed tones as customers filtered in. Raylan shared her own coming-out story. The initial rejection from her parents, the years of estrangement before tentative reconciliation. "It hurts, but living a lie hurts more," she said. Riley absorbed every word, a seed of resolve planting itself. But doubt lingered. That evening back home, Emily cornered her. What's going on? You look like you've seen a ghost. Riley hesitated, then confessed partially. There's someone. But it's complicated. Emily's eyes widened. A girl. The word hung heavy. Emily, more liberal but still tied to family, warned her. Mom and Dad will freak. Think about what you're doing. Riley did think obsessively. The internal battle raged. Loyalty to family versus authenticity. She pictured a life with Raylan. Stolen moments turning into something real. But the cost? Isolation, perhaps. The societal stigma in their tight-knit community weighed on her. Was she ready to be labeled, judged? Days blurred into a tense routine. Riley avoided deep conversations with Raylan, keeping interactions light. But the pull was undeniable. One night after closing, Raylan confronted her. If you don't feel it, say so. But don't string me along. Riley's resolve cracked. I do feel it. I'm just terrified. They shared a tentative embrace, the first real acknowledgement. Yet the secret festered. Riley's parents noticed her distraction, pressing for answers. Is there a man? Her mother asked hopefully. The lie stuck in Riley's throat. She mumbled excuses, retreating to her room where turmoil brewed. Why me? She thought. Why couldn't I be normal? The self-doubt was relentless, amplified by memories of church sermons decrying sinful lifestyles. Raylan, sensing the strain, offered support. You don't have to decide everything now, she texted. But time was ticking. Riley knew a confrontation loomed. The question haunted her. Could she sacrifice family for love, or love for family? The drama of her divided heart intensified. Each beat a reminder of the storm ahead. The weeks following Raylan's confession turned Riley's life into a pressure cooker. Every interaction laced with unspoken tension. She juggled work deadlines by day, her mind wandering to Raylan's smile, and evaded family dinners by night, claiming overtime. But evasion had limits. Her father cornered her one evening in the living room, his Bible open on the coffee table. Something's eating at you, Riley. Out with it. She deflected, but the seed of guilt sprouted. Internally, she wrestled. Am I betraying them by hiding? Or by loving her? The moral quandary gnawed. Society's norms clashed with her burgeoning truth. Raylan, patient yet persistent, invited her to a low-key LGBTQ+ event downtown. Just friends, if that's easier. Riley agreed, her heart a mix of thrill and dread. At the gathering in a community center, rainbow flags fluttered subtly. Raylan introduced her to friends. A couple who'd fought for marriage rights. A trans woman sharing stories of resilience. Riley felt seen yet exposed. This could be us, Raylan whispered later, their fingers brushing. The possibility ignited hope, but also fear of the fallout. Back home, the contrast hit hard. Her mother baked cookies for a church fundraiser, chatting about traditional families. Riley's stomach twisted. That night, she dreamed of confrontation, her parents disowning her, Raylan walking away. Waking in a sweat, she texted Raylan. I can't keep this up. The response was swift. Then don't. Choose. Choice, the word echoed. Riley pondered the ethics. Was hiding compassionate, sparing her family pain? Or cowardly, denying her identity? Society's lens complicated it. In America, progress coexisted with backlash. Her job at the marketing firm included diversity training. Yet she feared colleagues' whispers. The turning point came midweek. Raylan suggested a weekend getaway. To clear your head. Riley hesitated, then packed a bag secretly. They drove to a cabin in Wisconsin, the landscape blurring as confessions spilled. My family cut me off for a year, Raylan shared, her voice steady but eyes distant. But I rebuilt. You can too. In the quiet woods, away from prying eyes, Riley allowed vulnerability. They talked deep into the night, about dreams, fears. Riley admitted her internal conflict. I love you, but losing them. Raylan held her gaze. Love shouldn't cost your soul. The word struck deep, challenging Riley's ingrained beliefs. Returning Sunday, reality crashed. Emily had snooped, finding a text from Raylan. Is this why you've been weird? She demanded in Riley's room. Panic surged. Please don't tell, Riley begged. Emily's face softened, then hardened. This will kill Mom and Dad. You're being selfish. Selfish? The accusation stung. Riley's mind raced. Was pursuing happiness selfish if it hurt others? The family dynamic shifted. Dinners became interrogations. Her father sensed the rift, preaching about moral decay in society. Riley nodded but inwardly rebelled. The pressure built. A volcano nearing eruption. Raylan noticed the strain during their next meet. "You're pulling away," she said over coffee. Riley confessed Emily's discovery. "She might out me." Raylan's jaw tightened. "Then beat her to it. Own your story." But ownership terrified Riley, visions of disownment, social ostracism. The betrayal came swiftly. Emily, torn between loyalty and saving Riley, confided in their mother. The confrontation exploded that evening. "Is it true?" her mother sobbed, clutching a rosary. "You're with a woman." Riley's world tilted. "Yes," she whispered, the word a liberation and a curse. Her father's face reddened. "This is an abomination. We've raised you better." The argument raged, accusations of influence, pleas for therapy. Riley stood firm, tears streaming. "This is me. I can't change." But the pain was visceral. Her mother's broken sobs echoed her own shattered heart. In the aftermath, Riley fled to Raylan's apartment, collapsing into her arms. "They hate me," she cried. Raylan soothed her, but doubt crept in. Had Riley chosen wrongly? The moral dilemma intensified. Family bonds versus personal truth. Society's judgment loomed. Friends distancing, church gossip. Days blurred in isolation. Her parents called relentlessly, alternating anger and pleas. "Come home, we'll fix this," her mother texted. Fix. The word infuriated Riley. She journaled her turmoil. Why must love be fixed? But guilt persisted. She'd upended their world. Raylan urged therapy. For you, not them. Riley attended a session, unpacking layers of repression. The therapist probed. What do you owe them? Everything, Riley thought. Yet nothing if it meant erasure. The session sparked awakening, but the path was thorny. Tension escalated when her father showed up at the bar. Leave my daughter alone, he growled at Raylan. The scene unfolded dramatically, customers staring, Raylan standing her ground. She's an adult. Respect her choices. Riley, arriving mid-confrontation, intervened. Dad, stop. His parting words, you're no daughter of mine. The rejection cut deep, a wound festering. Riley questioned everything. Was love worth this fracture? Raylan's support wavered under the strain. I can't fight your battles forever, she admitted one night. The admission sparked fear. Could she lose both? The drama thickened, each decision a domino. Riley pondered reconciliation, but on whose terms? The societal mirror reflected her struggle. Progress narratives clashed with personal pain. Internally she battled. Right versus wrong, love versus duty. The high stakes weighed, pushing her toward a precipice. The fallout from her father's bar confrontation rippled through Riley's life like aftershocks, each one testing her resolve. She moved in temporarily with Raylan, the small apartment a sanctuary amid chaos. But even there, doubts whispered. Is this freedom or folly? Her job suffered. Concentration lapsed during meetings, her boss noticing the dip. Everything okay? He asked. She lied, but the facade cracked. Family silence stretched, broken only by Emily's hesitant texts. They're devastated. Give them time. Time for what? Acceptance seemed a fantasy in their rigid world. Riley's internal monologue raged. I've betrayed their values, but they've betrayed my humanity. The ethical tangle deepened. Was forcing change on them fair? Raylan, sensing the turmoil, planned distractions. A picnic in Grant Park. Walks along Lake Michigan. We're building something real, she said, her hand in Riley's. The moments brought joy, but shadows lingered. One evening, Raylan shared a painful memory. My ex left because of family pressure. Don't let that be us. The warning hit home. Riley feared history repeating. Society's undercurrents amplified the drama. At a work event, a colleague's offhand joke about those people stung. Riley stayed silent, shame burning. Why couldn't she speak up? The fear of professional repercussions, promotions lost, isolation, paralyzed her. Internally she debated. Courage or caution? The choices blurred. The breaking point neared when her mother ambushed her at a coffee shop. We need to talk, she said, eyes red-rimmed. The conversation unfolded tensely. Pleas for normalcy. Offers of counseling. Think of your future, kids' stability. Riley's heart ached. This is my future. Her mother's tears flowed. You're tearing us apart. Guilt consumed Riley that night. In Raylan's arms, she confessed. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Raylan pulled back, hurt flashing. Wrong for loving? That's their poison talking. The argument escalated. Raylan accusing Riley of wavering. Riley defending her family's pain. It's not black and white. The rift widened. Raylan stormed out, leaving Riley alone with her thoughts. Betrayal stung both ways. Had she pushed too far? The moral quandary peaked. Sacrificing love for peace or peace for love? Society's double standards fueled her anger. Straight couples faced no such scrutiny. Reconciliation attempts faltered. Riley met Emily secretly. They're praying for you, her sister said. But Dad's unyielding. Emily admitted her own doubts. I support you, but it's hard. The partial allyship offered solace, yet highlighted the divide. Riley pondered. Could bridges be built, or were they burned? Work provided distraction, but a promotion opportunity arose, requiring relocation to New York. It's a fresh start, her boss said. Riley hesitated. Leaving meant abandoning Raylan. Staying meant enduring the storm. The decision loomed, a test of commitment. Raylan returned late, apologetic. I love you, but this uncertainty kills me. They talked honestly. Fears of abandonment, pressures external and internal. Riley admitted her indecision. I want both, you and them. Raylan's response. Sometimes you can't. The truth hung heavy, forcing Riley to confront her priorities. The high drama culminated in a family intervention. Her parents invited her home under pretense of truce. Arriving, she found the pastor there, Bible in hand. We're here to help, he intoned. The session devolved into accusations. Riley defending her identity, her father quoting scripture. This is a choice, he thundered. No, it's who I am, she retorted. Her mother broke down, revealing her own suppressed doubts from youth. I buried it for family. The confession shocked Riley. Generational trauma unveiled. But it didn't sway her father. Leave if you must. Riley stormed out, heart shattered. Was this the price of authenticity? Seeking solace, she confided in Raylan. My mom's story. It's heartbreaking. Raylan nodded. Cycles end with us. The empathy strengthened their bond, but the wound festered. Riley questioned societal progress. Why still this pain? Internally, she weighed. Right to happiness versus duty to heal family rifts. Friends from the community center reached out, sharing similar tales. One woman's story of eventual acceptance inspired hope. Time and persistence, she advised. Riley clung to it, but realism tempered optimism. The tension mounted, each day a battleground of emotions. A surprise call from her father shifted dynamics. We need space, he said gruffly. But you're still our daughter. The olive branch, however thorny, sparked tentative relief. Yet, Raylan cautioned, don't compromise yourself. The balancing act intensified. Love's demands clashing with familial ties. Riley's awakening deepened. In therapy, she explored self-worth. I deserve love without conditions. The sessions peeled layers, revealing repressed anger at societal norms. But progress was slow, punctuated by setbacks. One night, overhearing bar patrons' slurs, she confronted them. A small victory, but empowering. The narrative's pace quickened toward crisis. Raylan received a job offer in Seattle. Better pay, fresh scene. She hesitated. Only if you come. The ultimatum forced Riley's hand. Commit or lose her. The internal storm raged. Sacrifice career and family remnants for love? The drama's stakes soared, decisions irreversible. With Raylan's Seattle offer hanging like a sword, Riley's world compressed into a vortex of choices, each laced with potential regret. She paced the apartment, mind churning. Stay and fight for family reconciliation, or leap into uncertainty with the woman she loved. The ethical minefield expanded. Abandoning roots felt like betrayal, yet stifling her truth was self-betrayal. Society's gaze intensified the pressure. News headlines about anti-LGBTQ+ legislation in other states reminded her of fragility. We can't take progress for granted, Raylan said over dinner. Riley nodded, but fear gripped her. What if moving isolated them further? Internally, she battled. Security versus passion? Emily mediated a family meeting at a neutral park. Tensions simmered as they sat on benches. Her mother spoke first. We love you, but this. It's hard. Riley explained her feelings, voice steady. It's not a phase. Her father listened stone-faced, then admitted. I don't understand, but I don't want to lose you. The breakthrough, fragile as glass, offered hope. But concessions came with strings. No public displays, her father stipulated. Riley bristled. That's not acceptance. The argument reignited. Moral clashes over decency. She left frustrated, questioning if partial love sufficed. Raylan, waiting at home, fumed. They're controlling you. The strain tested their relationship. Raylan packed boxes tentatively. Decision time. Riley pleaded for patience. I'm trying. But trying felt insufficient. The clock ticked. Internally, Riley dissected her motives. Fear of loneliness driving her toward family, or genuine duty. A work trip to New York provided clarity or confusion. Amid skyscrapers, she imagined a life there. Independent, perhaps with Raylan. Calls home revealed her parents softening. Her mother sent a care package, a subtle olive branch. But Raylan's texts grew distant. Miss you but need certainty. Returning, Riley confronted the impasse. I'll go with you, she declared impulsively. Raylan's joy was tempered. Only if you're sure. Doubt nagged. Was this escape or commitment? The moral debate intensified. Uprooting for love, honorable or selfish? Family learned of the potential move through Emily. Chaos ensued, a heated call. Running away? Her father accused. Riley defended. Building my life. Her mother's plea. Stay, we'll work on it. The tug-of-war tore at her soul. Society's narrative of family first clashed with personal fulfillment. Betrayal struck from an unexpected angle. A church friend outed Riley online, posting veiled accusations on social media. Comments flooded. Support mixed with vitriol. Riley's inbox filled with judgments, amplifying isolation. See what you've done, her father texted. The blame shifted inward. Had her choices invited this? Raylan rallied, helping delete toxic messages. We're stronger together. But the incident eroded Riley's confidence. Therapy delved deeper. Own your narrative. She journaled furiously. Why let others define my worth? The awakening empowered, but pain persisted. High drama peaked at a farewell gathering Raylan's friends organized. Amid laughter, Riley felt out of place, envying their ease. A tipsy guest probed. Family okay with this? The question unearthed buried resentment. Later, alone with Raylan, she vented. They'll never fully accept. Raylan's response. Then choose us. The ultimatum crystallized. Riley visited her parents one last time. Emotions ran high. Tears, hugs, accusations. We'll miss you, her mother whispered. Her father gruff. Call when you arrive. No full embrace, but a crack in the wall. Riley left with mixed feelings. Loss mingled with liberation. Packing for Seattle, decisions solidified. But second thoughts assaulted. Was this the right path? Society's whispers echoed, labels of runaway. Disloyal. Internally, she justified. Growth requires sacrifice. Raylan's excitement buoyed her, yet the cost loomed. The move day arrived tense. Loading the U-Haul, Riley glanced back at Chicago's skyline, heart heavy.
En route, conversation turned introspective.
Regrets? Raylan asked. Some, Riley admitted. But not you. The honesty strengthened them. But the road ahead promised challenges. Settling in Seattle brought fresh pressures. New jobs, new circles. Raylan thrived at a trendy bar. Riley adapted to a remote marketing role. But homesickness hit. Calls home were awkward. Progress reports laced with unspoken hurt. We're praying, her mother said. The phrase irked yet comforted. A month in, crisis struck. Her father suffered a minor heart scare. Riley flew back, guilt surging. Had stress contributed? At the hospital, reunions were bittersweet. Glad you're here, he murmured. The vulnerability humanized him, sparking dialogue. I want to understand, he conceded. Back in Seattle, the experience reframed her views. Maybe time heals, she told Raylan. But Raylan, scarred by her past, cautioned, don't hold your breath. The differing perspectives sparked tension. Raylan pushing for boundaries, Riley yearning for mending. The drama evolved, no longer explosive but simmering. Riley pondered the long game. Could love and family coexist? Society's evolving norms offered hope, yet personal battles raged. Internally, she affirmed, I've paid the price, now claim the reward. The narrative's arc bent toward resolution, but twists lingered. Seattle's rhythm gradually soothed Riley's frayed edges, but the undercurrent of unresolved conflict persisted, a constant hum in her mind. Mornings brought coffee shared with Raylan, their routines intertwining, yet flashes of Chicago invaded. Family holidays missed, Emily's updates on normal life. Internally, Riley questioned, have I traded one cage for another? The moral ambiguity lingered. Freedom's price was ongoing vigilance. Raylan's new job flourished, her charisma drawing crowds. Riley attended shifts occasionally, pride swelling as she watched. But jealousy crept in when a flirty customer lingered. Old habits. Riley teased later, masking insecurity. Raylan reassured, you're it for me. The exchange highlighted vulnerabilities, trust tested by past wounds. Family communication improved incrementally. Video calls revealed softening. Her mother asking about Raylan subtly, how's your friend? Progress, albeit slow. Her father shared health updates, grumbling less about lifestyle. Riley cherished these crumbs, but Raylan warned, don't settle for scraps. The differing expectations strained them. Society's broader canvas in liberal Seattle offered contrast. Pride events, inclusive communities, Riley immersed, volunteering at a support group. Sharing her story empowered others, mirroring her growth. Yet, news of backslides elsewhere, bans, protests reminded her of fragility. We're lucky, she told Raylan. But what about those who aren't? The awakening deepened during a group session. A young woman echoed Riley's struggles. Family rejection, internal shame. Advising her, Riley realized her own evolution. From denial to advocacy. But the mirror reflected unfinished business. Call them, the woman urged. Riley did, proposing a visit. The Chicago reunion loomed dramatic. Arriving alone, Raylan opting out to avoid tension, Riley braced. Dinner was civil. Small talk avoided landmines. Then her father broached it. We've been reading about this. Books on understanding LGBTQ+ issues lay on the table. The gesture stunned. Trying, he admitted. Her mother's hug sealed it. We love you. Tears flowed, a catharsis long overdue. But perfection eluded. Subtle judgments slipped. When will you settle down properly? Her mother asked. Riley gently corrected. I am settled. The exchange underscored limits. Acceptance partial but present. Internally she weighed, enough? Or demand more? Returning to Seattle, she shared with Raylan. It's a start. Raylan's skepticism softened. Proud of you. The moment reignited their bond, but challenges persisted. A promotion for Riley meant travel, straining time together. Don't drift, Raylan pleaded. Riley promised, but life pulled. Betrayal's echo resurfaced when Emily confessed. I posted anonymously online to vent. The earlier social media storm, her doing. Hurt surged. Why? Jealousy. Fear. The revelation fractured sisterly trust. Riley forgave tentatively, but scars remained. Moral lesson. Even allies falter. The narrative's climax built subtly. Raylan proposed. Marry me. Amid a sunset hike, ring in hand. Riley's joy mixed with hesitation. Family's reaction? Yes, she said, embracing the leap. Planning ensued, invitations selective. Her parents' response. Attendance promised, albeit reserved. Wedding preparations amplified drama. Dress fittings, venue hunts, interspersed with calls home. Her father offered to walk her down the aisle. A symbolic olive branch. But tensions flared. No politics, he insisted. Riley compromised, prioritizing unity. Internally, she reflected. Compromise or concession? The gray areas defined her journey. The day arrived, an intimate ceremony overlooking Puget Sound. Vows exchanged, tears shed. Her parents attended, stiff but present. Happy for you, her mother whispered. The union symbolized triumph over adversity, yet Riley knew battles continued. Society's acceptance varied. Personal peace was hard-won. Post-honeymoon life normalized routines, arguments, makeups. Riley's career soared. Raylan opened her own bar. Family visits increased, bonds mending slowly. But reflections haunted. The pain inflicted, choices debated. Was it all worth it? In quiet moments, Riley pondered the saga's lessons. Love demanded sacrifice, truth required courage. Society evolved, but individuals drove change. Her story, fraught with drama, embodied the struggle, from shock to awakening. Yet, one question lingered, sparking endless debate. In the pursuit of personal authenticity, is fracturing family ties ever truly justifiable? Or does duty to loved ones always outweigh individual desires?